There's so many different things that people like to point to these days when they say that current music is just not as good as it was at some other point in time. And while I will always argue that people that can't find great music are just lazy, let's take that point for a second and assume they're kind of right. To me, this has nothing to do with changes in technology, what people like to call the dumbing down of pop music, or any other cultural shifts like that. It actually all goes down to one thing as far as I'm concerned. And that one thing is something I like to call label multitasking. It's not really the idea that big record labels are evil, though some of them definitely are, but more the idea that as they musical multitask, it really implies that they're not doing anything great and pretty much doing everything mediocre. Let me make this really clear with one example. Motown Records. The label was so damn good that the name itself became a genre onto its own. Why? Because they focused on one sound and one sound only, and all they did was do their best to deliver the best of that specific sound. You need another example? Blue Note Records. You guys see where we're going with this, and that list is pretty significant. And I know you're thinking, well, how about a more recent label? Fine, we've got Discord Records, Caroline Records, Teen Beat Records. There are tons of them out there. They specialize in a specific sound, and if that's a sound you like, you can pretty much buy blindly without ever hearing the new artists. Most people call this label identification, and it's a concept that nearly died out about 15 years ago. When you have a label that wants to specialize in everything from bubblegum pop to gangsta rap to heavy metal, I can tell you firsthand that as someone who's constantly writing about, talking about, and listening to music from all across the board every single day, there are definitely areas of my, let's call it, expertise that I'm absolutely lacking in. So what's the solution? Well, thankfully, as the record-making process has gotten easier and less expensive, you have lots of smaller labels that are doing just that. They're becoming experts in a specific area. Along with the labels I already named, you've got folks like Mexican Summer and Ninja Tune and Names You Can Trust and Beyond is Beyond is Beyond, and you have so many other smaller labels that are proving how good you can be if you're a specialist. The people at these labels love that style of music, they know everything about it, and they do what they can to cultivate only the best of the best. I mean, isn't that what we all want? Someone who's passionate about a specific sound telling you exactly what they think is the best around in that sound? They're doing all the legwork for you and saying, hey, if you're into psych rock, check this out. If you're into jam bands, check this out. If you're into original creative hip hop, check this out. I'm not saying they're trying to destroy the major labels. I'm saying they're offering a really good alternative for people who love great music. I mean, if you're into nothing but mainstream music, chances are you're perfectly happy with the big labels and what they're putting out as the best around lately. But if you find a band or a sound that you really love, pay attention to the label that they're on. Check out what else they have to offer, and chances are you're gonna find a label to fall in love with and plenty of new bands. And that is the future of music.